welcome to my channel. Today we have a John Doe found June 25th, 2004 in Atlanta, Georgia. It says estimated PMI months, and it also says estimated year of death 2003 to 2004. African American male, age 25 to 35, and that is pretty young. That's the estimated age. Cannot estimate the height or the weight. They only found partial skeleton parts. Says they didn't find the torso or anything like that. And then they list some of the skeletal parts that they found. And it says they found them in an area being cleared for a subdivision. So then it doesn't give the address or any kind of location of what area he was found. And I wish there was like a little map where you could say, hey, they found him right here, and you could compare it to the people that went missing. And so the only person that I found that was an African American male that went missing in the state of Georgia in 2004 or 2003, because I couldn't find anybody listed missing in 2003, was Granji Ward. He's the only one that I could find. So if you have a loved one, family member, friend that went missing in 2003, 2004 in the state of Georgia, make sure that they've actually been reported missing. Make sure, check name lists, see if they're in there. I always assume or speculate, I don't know how you want to call it, but I always feel like if they're actually reported missing, that they'll be in NamUs, that the investigators will have put them in NamUs. So check and see if they're in NamUs. And also try to get them in the Doe Network and the Charlie Project. You could probably do that yourself. Get a hold of them and do it. So we have Granji Ward. He went missing in Atlanta, Georgia, Valentine's Day, 2004. Only 27 years old. So young. And here's a picture of him. And 5'8", 280 pounds. Last seen about 3 p.m. in the vicinity of the 2800 block of Springfield Court in Atlanta, Georgia. So I'm wondering, is that subdivision that they're building anywhere near the area of where he went missing? And I don't know, because it doesn't give me an area to show that. Black hair, brown eyes. He had some tattoos. He had a tattoo of a cross in black ink, about 10 inches in height in the middle of his back. A tattoo of a Rottweiler, about 4 inches in height on his right bicep. A tattoo of the name Nita Faye and a cross approximately 4 inches in height on his left bicep. And it says he was wearing a orange velour jogging suit with gray trim, possibly wearing a silver chain necklace with a silver cross pendant. I think that's in that picture right there. Diamond and gold bracelet worn on the right wrist, a gold watch worn on his left wrist. Doesn't mention any transportation. And then the rest of them are not till 2002. So, and this says 2003 to 2004. So I don't even know whether to include them. You know, I question things like, what if somebody put them in the freezer and then did something to them, and would that mess up their timeline when they tried to see how old the bones were, or how long the person had been passed away for? I don't know. So I have some people from 2002. I have 3 people. I have Carlos Keith Parker. He doesn't have a picture. He went missing December 6, 2002. He was only 31 years old. 6 foot tall, 175 to 190 pounds. It doesn't give any circumstances, just said he was last heard from December 6, 2002. Nothing else. Bald shaved hair, mustache, brown eyes, and talks about some of his scars. He had a vehicle. Anytime you hear a vehicle, you think, oh, did he wreck somewhere? Did it go off a cliff? Did it go in the water? Things like that. 2000 General Motor Corp Sierra pickup truck, blue. And it gives the license plate number. And what happened to his vehicle? Then we have Michael Way. He went missing from Atlanta, Georgia, March 25th, 2002. He also had a tattoo of a cross on his back. That's interesting, isn't it? And an image of praying hands on his arm. 5'9", 180 pounds. He was last seen at 1940 Fisher Road Southeast. And that makes me want to know if that was near where they found the skeletal remains. It says in 2011, police determined that he had been abducted, kidnapped, and murdered, and that he had been taken from 2280 Cary Drive in southeast Atlanta and driven to an undisclosed location and killed. And then they think that his body was buried in a wooded area near Old South Bend Historic Cemetery, but they couldn't find him. So, and it seems like there were several people that were involved, but they haven't charged anyone, which that's very sad. And then we also have Christopher Carlton Tompkins. He went missing January 25th, 2002 from Ellerslie, Georgia. And it gives a description of him and his tattoos. And he was working. He went to work. This young man, only 20 years old, went to work with these 3 other people. And I don't know if those 3 other people were involved or what happened, but they said they turned around and looked and he was gone. And then his family sent out a search party and they found one of his boots there. They found his work tools. They found 12 cents on the ground. Like maybe he had emptied his pockets or something. Then they found a piece of blue fiber from his pants on a barbed wire fence nearby. Like he got it stuck on the barbed wire fence trying to climb over it or get away or something. I don't know. I'm just speculating, wild speculation. And then they found the other boot far away. A property owner found it on his property months later. So, and he's never been seen or heard from since. Went to work, never came home. Very sad, only 20 years old. And so those are the people I have. But like I said, Grungy Ward's the only one that was missing. 2004, 2003, that shows as being missing at that time, unless it's somebody that just isn't in NamUs. And maybe they weren't reported missing. So this is somebody's loved one, this John Doe, that hasn't had closure and don't know what happened to their loved one. And each of these persons that is missing is someone's loved one. People care about them. They want to know what happened to them. They don't have closure. It could be someone's son, brother, dad, uncle. These are people love them. So don't forget to pray for them and their family. And if you have any information at all, even if you feel like, hey, I gave this information to them years ago, you don't know if they wrote it down, if they stored it on a floppy drive, if they stored it on a computer that crashed, or where they stored the information back then, if it was in a storage unit, or if they still have the information. So give them any information that you have, even if it's hearsay. Let them decide what's relevant and what's important, because it's not like you're going to testify in a court of law. You're just trying to give them information so that they'll have the information, because it's been a lot of years. And feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.